I'm Madam Joyce from Educare TZ. I'm teaching biology, and today I'll be with you to discuss our topic, which is coordination and irritability. And mainly here we are going to focus looking on the photoreceptor. We are going to see on the sensory receptor. That is the sensory receptor. So we have to recall ourselves on where we end on the last session, is whereby we try to look on the structural difference between the rods and the cones, and we have seen the retrobit difference between the rods and the cones. So here, my student, prepare for you a summarize the structural difference between the rods and cones. So this will help you while you are studying and while you face with this question. So my student, now we can say that structural differences between the rods and the cones. So the first structural difference between the rods and cones, and here we are saying that on the shape. When you are looking on the shape of the rods and the cones, they are quite different. Since now we can say that the rods are long and cylindrical. The rods, they are long, therefore they are cylindrical in shape. But when you are looking on the cones, they are shorter and conical in shape. So that is the first differences between the rods and the cones. But the second difference, or the second structural difference between the rods and the cones, here we are saying that the rods, the outer segment, ukiangalia the outer segment of the rods and the outer segment of the cones, they are quite different. On how? Here we are saying that the rods have the single round outer segment that contains a stack of flattened discs called lamellae. So within the structure of the rods is where now the lamellae are found. But when you are looking on the structure or on the outer segment of the cones, is where now it is very short, but also it is thicker. And also we can say that outer segment with few lamellae. So this one, it has only few lamellae. But also the cones, they are shorter. When you see the structure of these cones, they are shorter. Kwa maana kwamba ni ndogo, ni fupi sana ukikompare na ile structure ya cones. These rods and the cones, they are structurally different on the pigment. The pigment which are found within the rods and the pigment which are found within the cones, they are quite different. That is, here we are saying that rods contain rhodopsin. That is rhodopsin, a pigment that is sensitive to low level of light. Kwa sasa hii rhodopsin ni pigment ambayo inakuwa ni sensitive, inakuwa more sensitive pale ambapo panakuwa na low light intensity. Kwa maana kwamba either inaweza ikawa night times au inaweza ikawa dim light. So this rod are activated so that to differentiate different kinds of object that is around you as an animal or you as a human being. But also when you are looking on the pigment which are found on the cones, they are quite different. That is, the cones contain three different pigments. Within the cones there is a three pigment. And the first pigment here, it is the red, the green and the blue, that are sensitive to different wavelengths of light. So here red, green together with the blue is the pigment which are found within the cones. And these pigments, they are very sensitive in high level of light. That is, in a bright light is where now you can be able to differentiate different kind of color. It's due to the presence of these pigments which are found within the cones. But also, apart from that, we have another difference between the rods and the cone. And this is, we can say that distribution. Ukienda kuangalia ile distribution ya rods, pia ukiangalia distribution ya cones, they are very different, or they are quite different. That is, we are saying that the rods are found mainly in the peripheral of the retina. mwishoni kabisa mwa retina ndipo ambapo utakuta hii structure ya rods. Lakini ukienda kuangalia ile cones, they are concentrated in the fovea, the central part of the retina. Those zote zinapatikana ndani ya retina, both rods and cones, but on the distribution of the retina they are quite different. They are located in different places. That is, the rods, as I have said, they are found on the periphery of the retina, but the cones, they are concentrated at the center of the retina, yani pale katikati kwa retina. Center part of the retina is where now we have the structure which is called the fovea. So there is high concentration of the cones. Also, apart from that, we have another difference between these cones and the rods. Now on the number, now we are saying that the human eye has about 120 million rods, lakini tunazo 6 million cones. So ukienda kuangalia on the number of the rods and the cones within the retina, they are quite different. That is, the rods which are found within the retina, they are about 120 millions. Lakini ukija ukiangalia the number of the cones which are found within the retina, they are 60 millions. So now you can see these cones which are found within the retina, they are few compared to the rods. Since the rods, they are about 120 millions. And also the retina and the rods and the cones, they are different, or they are structural difference when we are looking on the sensitivity. Ukiangalia sensitivity ya rods na cones, pia kuna utofauti mkubwa. And hapa tunaweza kusema kwamba okay, now the rods and cones, we can say that it is different when we are looking on the sensitivity. That is, the rods are much more sensitive to a light than a cones. So they can be detected even in very dim light. So which is why we can see in low light condition. Kwa ukiangalia in terms of sensitivity, these things you have to make it clear. That is, the rods, they are high sensitive to light. Kwa maana kwamba pale ambapo patakuwa tuna mwanga kidogo unaweza ukaona. Kwa sababu gani? Is due to the presence of the rods. And the rods, they are very sensitive to low light content or low light condition. And that is why now we have ability to see in the low light condition or in a dim light. Is due to the presence of the rod that is very sensitive to a low light content. That is, take an example. Pale ambapo patakuwa na umeme ulikuwepo alafu suddenly wakata, patakuwa na giza during a night, but pale ambapo patatokea tuna mwanga mdogo utakuwa na uwezo wa kuona. Kwa sababu gani? Is due to the presence of the rods which are found within your eyes. And another difference between the rods and cones here, we are saying that on the spectral sensitivity. Also, when you are looking on the spectral sensitivity between the rods and the cones, they are quite different. That is, the rods are mostly sensitive to a green light, while the cones are sensitive to different wavelengths of light, that is red, green and blue. So hii rods tunasema kwamba it is very sensitive to a green light, pale ambapo patakuwa na mwanga wa kijani. So these rods, they are very sensitive to detect the presence of green light. But when you are looking on the spectral differences or spectral sensitivity on the cones, they have almost 3 sensitivity of a light. Tukisema spectral, meaning that the different kinds of colors which are found within our environment. So the cones, you have ability to detect the presence of red, the presence of green, and also the presence of blue. Is due to the presence of this structure which is called the cones, which are found within our eyes. So my student, and this part of this session, so now let's end here, but in the next session is when we are going to clarify more the differences between the rods and the cones which are found within the retina or within the human eye. So thank you for listening.